Welcome to the Prep Zone. My name is Grant Yenny, and tonight we're here at Sid Terrio Stadium for a big district matchup as Fontainebleau travels to take on the Mandeville High Skippers. Now, Mandeville is coming off of a win versus U High. They're 2-1 coming into tonight. Fontainebleau is 3-0, undefeated, coming off a big win against East Jefferson. Now, in this rivalry, these kids know each other. They played park ball together. They attend church together, and some of them plan to hang out after this game. But all of that goes out the window when the whistle blows to start this one. Now, this rivalry, last year, Mandeville won 35-0. And they look to extend that. But it goes back even further than that. The last time Fontainebleau won in this rivalry, well, this guy was calling the game in the booth, and I was on the field as an intern for Channel 13 shooting the game. Now, Tiger, coming in tonight, both teams have first-year quarterbacks. Justin Stolberg for Fontainebleau, Darren Steele for Mandeville. We saw Justin Stolberg play against Lakeshore, but what do we know about Darren Steele?
Darren Steele is Guy LeCompte's playmaker. He has 844 yards total offense, 182 rushing, 662 throwing the football, 59% completion rate, and accounted for 7 touchdowns. He's the helmsman of the skippership.
Now, on the Fontainebleau side, their playmaker, Brandon Akawi, he's averaging over 7 yards per carry. What do we know about him?
5th leading rusher in the state, 562 yards, 6 touchdowns, and as you mentioned, 7.2 a carry. Can the Fontainebleau offensive line break open the kennel and let Akawi take off?
And what are the keys to victory for both teams?
It's simple. You said it, 35-0 last year. Mandeville owns the series as of late. The key is, has Fontainebleau come to play? And is Mandeville ready for that? Because if they're not, the Bulldogs are going to steal the bone and take it back to the dog pound.
It's the Battle of Mandeville, big rivalry. Let's talk to the coaches. Pre-game with Coach LeCompte. Coach, you're 2-1 coming into tonight. How's your team look coming into week 4?
We're healthy. Guys have been working hard. Hopefully we're going to be reaching midseason form.
And they have Brandon Akawi on their side, a stout running back. How do you slow him down or stop him tonight?
Well, I mean, like I tell Tiger all those other years in the past, we have to block, we have to tackle, and that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter who we play each week. It's just the fundamentals.
That kind of goes into my next question. With this is a big rivalry game, a lot of emotions. How do you keep your team focused in the moment?
Every district game seems to be a rival game, so it's just another district game. Really, we don't put any emphasis on anything, whether it's the semifinals, quarterfinals, playoffs. If it's week 1, if it's a scrimmage, our approach is the same each week.
Pre-game with Coach Blocker. Coach, last time we saw your team, you rolled over Lakeshore. You're now 3-0 coming into district play. How's your squad looking going into week 4?
Well, I don't know about rolled over Lakeshore, but we feel very fortunate that we did pick up that win. Went on into week 2 and week 3, limiting some mistakes there, which is good for us. We see some growth, and we're hoping we'll continue that growth here tonight.
Mandeville has first-year quarterback Darren Steele. He has a lot of weapons to choose from. How do you plan to slow down their up-tempo offense tonight?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's going to be a tough task for our defense to do.
And this is a rivalry game. Emotions are high. How do you keep your team in the moment?
Well, it's just taking it one play at a time. We take games one game at a time. Well, we take plays one play at a time.
And Joe Bulldogs, the Georgia Tech commit to start this off for the Mandeville Skippers, kicking off to Kevon Washington, back deep for the Fontainebleau Bulldogs here in the Battle of Mandeville. Grant Yenny and Tiger Edwards up here in the booth, and we are underway. Big kick from Joe Bulldogs. That's about par for the course for Joe Bulldogs. He usually kicks it far out the back of the end zone. Isn't that right, Tiger?
They're not going to be returning any kicks, I would expect, this evening. Washington had a real big return, so Bulldogs is going to make sure he doesn't get his hands on the football.
And that's why Georgia Tech liked him so much. So we get our first look at Justin Stolberg and the Fontainebleau offense, starting at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, snap, handoff, Akawi, and he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1 by Sawyer Paulson, along with Damani Boyd.
Try to go right up the middle quick right there, but got snuffed out. In fact, I think it was McGee-McMullen that kind of tripped him up to begin with.
So 2nd and 11. Stolberg calling for it. He'll throw the quick slant out there, and it falls incomplete. On the coverage was Damani Boyd, who hit Daryl Tott. That brings up 3rd down for the Fontainebleau offense.
Good timing on that that movement by the defensive back. Didn't have a chance. They're going quick.
3rd and 11. Stolberg calls for it, dropping back, looking downfield. He'll throw it to the flat to a Cowie. Still on his feet, brought down, but he will not get the first down after about a 9-yard gain.
They ran a Cowie out in the flat, dumped it to him, and hoped he could break a couple of tackles. As it turns out, he broke 1, but not 2, and he's short. And it's 4th and a yard. They're going to punt it. They'll punt it.
They're probably going to try and draw Mandeville off sides here, and then make the switch.
Right. Oh.
Well,
or maybe
it looks
not.
like Coach Hutch is calling in the play from the sideline. Looks like they'll be aggressive and go for it early. Oh, trying to draw him off sides again. 4th and 1, and there it is. Timeout called by Fontainebleau, and they'll talk it over and probably bring out the punting unit out of this. With 10:35 to go in the first, score tied 0-0. Fontainebleau calls a timeout. Following the timeout, the punt unit is on for the Fontainebleau Bulldogs. Snap is back, punt is away by Mastio. It goes high in the air, but not a lot of distance, and it will roll out of bounds at about the 48-yard line.
That's not exactly what Coach Chris Blocker would want right here. Great field position for Mandeville on their first possession.
So we get our first look of the season at Darren Steele and this Mandeville offense. Fritz Walker in the backfield along with Steele. 1st and 10 from the Fontainebleau 49. Steele calling up the play to his offensive line. And they'll go hand off Fritz Walker over to the left side, and he'll be brought down by Michael Malbrough.
They ran just an opening run play on 1st down. Picked up about close to 5. Looks like about 5. 2nd down and 5. And nice little run there by Walker.
Mandeville lining up quick. Empty backfield. Fritz Walker is lined out down here to the bottom of your screen. It's a screen out to Lavelle Williams. Lavelle coming near sideline, has a seam, still on his feet before being brought down by Caleb Neft, along with a host of other skippers.
He's going to be close to the first down. They had quads out here, 4 receivers. They went with a little quick screen out there, got some blocking, and he did pick up the first down.
And Mandeville going very up-tempo. 2 backs in the backfield, Teron Jones and Fritz Walker. They'll hand off. Jones coming near side, and he's dragged down over here on the near sideline.
Yeah, Mandeville's not wasting any time here. They're not letting Fontainebleau get lined up. That time, some of the defensive backs from Fontainebleau were looking around when the play was snapped. So they're trying to take advantage here.
2nd and 6, hard count there. 2 to the left, 2 to the right for Mandeville. Steele calls for it, dropping back. He'll throw it out to Lavelle Williams, who's open, trying to juke his way around, and he's brought down over there by Jacob Carden, the 5'9", 160-pound senior for the Bulldogs.
One thing you missed right there, he was wide open. Great job right there from Steele of delivering the football to his receiver, and we have another first down.
Another first down for Mandeville, and they're not wasting any time. They're set and ready to go as the chains got set. Here's Teron Jones has a hole, Teron Jones has a hole, and he's brought down after the gain of about 5 yards.
I'm gonna tell you, I like this hurry up offense right now. They've got the Bulldogs on their heels, and they're rapid fire, getting things done.
Tackle by Jacob Cross for the Bulldogs. Brings up 2nd and 6. Steele calls for it. Play action to Walker, has time, throws down, and right in and out of the hands of Roland Wallace.
Wallace kind of looked up when that ball got in his hands. He looked up for the defender instead of grabbing, tucking it in, and ends up being an incomplete pass.
Wallace, a 6'2", 195-pound junior. They go trips right, 2 to the left, empty backfield. Steele calls for it, has time, throws it out to Walker, who catches it and spins off the defender for the Mandeville touchdown.
Walker covered over there by number 21, Kevon Washington, was able to spin and break a tackle, and he skywalkered into the end zone. Oh, we got a penalty.
There's a conference.
Yeah, it's coming back, I think.
Face mask on Fontainebleau, so the touchdown will stand for Fritz Walker.
All right.
An extra point unit will come out.
I saw the white hat pointing back towards Mandeville. And
well, they were meeting pretty far behind the play. And Bulldogs out to kick the extra point. Evan Guillory to hold.
This is not how Coach Chris Blocker wanted this game to start out here for the Bulldogs.
Kick is up, and it's almost automatic. Extra point is good for Joe Bulldogs. So with 8:03 remaining in the first, the Mandeville Skippers lead 7-0.
In the pros, it goes out to 25.
Well, after the face mask penalty, Joe Bulldogs will kick off from the Fontainebleau 45. So he already kicks it out the back of the end zone. This one might go in those stands behind the end zone there. And kick is away, and yep.
I think it was good too. There.
Through the uprights.
Yeah.
So Mandeville certainly set the tone with that last drive, that hurry up offense leading to the Fritz Walker score. Now we're looking to see how Fontainebleau will respond.
Big series right here. Can they get some traction offensively here? Coming up a yard short. Ended up with a 4th and 1 and had to punt.
1st and 10 from the 20. Stolberg has 2 backs there with him. Stolberg handing off up the middle. Cowie booming his way before being brought down by Austin Fashon after a big gain for the first down.
Great cut right there from Cowie, going right, cut it back left through the hole. So good blocking up front by the Bulldogs.
Trina, Alexander, Hernandez, Joya, and Madonna, the offensive line for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10, Stolberg handing off. Cowie once again going far sideline out to the right side, and we have a flag down on the play.
That's never a good place for the dirty laundry to be put out on the field.
Holding.
Usually means that, holding.
So that'll back up Fontainebleau. And it'll bring up 1st and 20.
This is what the Bulldogs could not afford to do. They get a first down in their second possession, and you think they got a little bit of breathing room, and then we got a nice little run for about 2 or 3 yards, but we get a holding call. Now we're facing a 1st and 20, excuse me.
So Stolberg calling in the play. Fontainebleau doesn't huddle either. They get straight to the line. Stolberg calls for it, dropping back, looking right side, passes out, and straight through the hands there of Blake Marshall.
Marshall, again, like the Mandeville receiver, took his eye off the ball to worry about is somebody going to come get him, and consequently the ball hit the turf.
When you hear those footsteps, you're not sure what's coming your way, trying to haul it in. 2nd and 20 for the Bulldogs.
Catch it and tuck it, then worry about it.
Dropping back is Stolberg, looking right side again, throwing out on that flare route. He lays a lick, was a Cowie. That's good physical play from your running back.
Yeah, nice little flare pass. They ran that in the first series and almost picked up the first down. They run it again. So they've seen something where the linebackers are getting deep in their drops and they're dumping it off to a Cowie. He's going to bring up 3rd and about 13.
And Austin Fashon, 6 foot, 190 pound senior on the tackle for the Skippers. Stolberg back there with 2 backs, Marshall and a Cowie. Stolberg calls for it, dropping back, looking downfield, pressure coming from Fashon, delivers it, and incomplete. Intended over there for Devin Fury, brought down by Travis Lecomte, or broken up by good coverage, broken up by Travis Lecomte.
Lecomte. That was the first time that Stolberg has thrown the ball upfield. Everything else has been dump passes or flare passes. So that was the first upfield throw. And Lecomte, great job on the coverage.
Mastio on the punt for the Bulldogs. Back deep is Evan Guillory along with Lavelle Williams. And that snap hits the ground, but Mastio gets an end-over-end punt away, and Evan Guillory will call for the fair catch.
Ball is out at the 46-yard line. Another great field position. So are we going to have to see the hurry up again? You know, I always say run it till they stop it. That's mine.
Hey, if it isn't broken, don't try and fix it.
Amen.
They quickly get to the line. Steal with Walker and Teron Jones in the backfield. Motion from Williams. Coming out to the bottom of your screen. And handoff goes Jones. Tried to cut it back up. It looked like he at first intended to come near side, and he's brought down there by number 25, Nicholas Stahl, for the Bulldogs.
Stahl stalled that play right there. He lowered his shoulder, made contact, and kept that ball from ended up being a loss.
And we'll have a heat and humidity timeout. 6:01 remaining on the clock. Mandeville leading 7-0. 6:01 remaining in the first quarter. Mandeville offense on. Play coming in from the sideline. Darren Steele, Teron Jones, and Fritz Walker in the backfield. Snap is back, handoff. Jones coming near side, cuts it up, still on his feet before being brought down on the near sideline by Jacob Corden at around the 48-yard line.
Come right side that time, pickup of about 3-4. Check it 4 because it was 2nd and 11. It's 3rd and 8.
Mandeville getting back to the line quickly. Fritz Walker in the backfield, 3rd and 7. Snap back, Steele dropping, looking downfield, pressure coming, and he lets it go and well overthrows Roland Wallace. On the coverage was Kevon Washington.
Washington then that time in good position on that corner route. Incomplete, brings up 4th down. So Fontainebleau defense does its job.
Joe Bullivus on the punt. Back deep is Kevon Washington for the Bulldogs. Snap is back. Good snap. Bullivus booms it away. Kevon lets it bounce. And it will be downed at the 23-yard line.
That ball took a weird hop backwards there amongst the players. Touchdown, but first down, Bulldogs.
Looked like they were going to let it roll, and then Mandeville realized, oh, wait, it's coming back our way. We need to stop it. 4:57 to go here in the first. We're seeing Justin Stolberg and the Fontainebleau offense once again, and they need to respond in a big way. Stolberg calls for it, looking right side, and we have flags down. False start called on the Bulldogs. So that'll back them up, and once again, they start off a drive with a penalty.
This is not what you want to do when you've had almost no success moving the football.
We've seen, as you said, a lot of those under routes from Stolberg. He did have that one shot downfield. Do you think we'll see more of that, or will they stick to what was working with those under routes?
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking they'll stay with the under routes way down here.
Stolberg calling for it, and he'll pass it long, diving for it, incomplete.
And of course they threw long when I said they'll stay with the under route.
Nicholas Ford, the intended receiver down the sideline. But yeah, you said they were going to stick to the under routes down there and then go long there to Ford. Yeah. 4:50 to go in the first. Brings up 2nd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Play coming in, Stolberg. Calls for it, high snap, it's on the ground. Still loose, picked up by Austin Fashon, and another big break for Mandeville.
Yeah, it's marked down. That's not a touchdown.
No, not a touchdown. He rolled on top of the ball.
Right.
But Mandeville, we'll see where they'll spot it. But Mandeville, they're starting this one inside the 15. Mandeville starting a drive with great field position. Once again, this time, the best field position they've had all night. Steele alone in the backfield. And 1st and 10 from the 12. Calling for it is Steele, looking downfield, looks to take it himself. Running, tosses it down to a wide open Lavelle Williams in the end zone for the skipper touchdown.
Steele had to scramble there, started to run, and then pulled up. Hey, I got a man wide open. Boom.
And isn't that a good job from Darren Steele for wading his way through the pressure and going on to make a play?
Yes, it was. It looked like he was very relaxed, even though he was under pressure. He got it and started to run, and then realized, hey, I got a guy. Let me just pop it out there to him.
Bulovis extra point high up there, and it is good. So with 4:37 remaining in the first quarter, Mandeville is up 14-0. After the skipper touchdown, Joe Bulovis on to kick it off for the Skippers, kicking it deep to Keemon Washington. No chance of a return, bounces out the back of the end zone per usual. So the Fontainebleau will start their drive once again at the 20-yard line, and they're looking to respond as Mandeville has gone up 14-0 on them. And Tiger, they need to try and get a drive going, right? They seem to have, play, mistake, play, punt.
Yes. I mean, obviously they would need a drive to go. They need positive yardage. That's what they need.
Ball on the ground, low snap, and Stolberg has to fall on it at the 10-yard line.
That's what they don't need right there. That's the second bad snap that's resulted in, they fell on it. The other one was a lost fumble. So
good job by Stolberg to fall on it and not let Mandeville get to it. That'll bring up 2nd and 19 for the Bulldog offense. Stolberg calling for it, dropping back once again, looking downfield, passes it long and well overthrown. Evan Guillory saying, man, I should have picked that one off, but it was well overthrown.
3 defenders in the area, and Stolberg put a lot of air underneath that one, and
it was,
as a result, incomplete pass. But we have a penalty.
Intended for Devin Fury. Awaiting the call. And a face mask. So that moves Fontainebleau up. 2nd down and about 5. So that's a good break. It's a positive yardage to move forward for them, especially after a bad snap dropped them back. Handoff, a Cowie, and he's bottled up almost immediately in the backfield by Fashon along with Damani Boyd.
Boyd and Fashon, great job of penetrating, throwing that one for a loss.
So brings up 3rd and 8. 3rd down and 8 for the Bulldogs. Stolberg awaits the play coming from the sideline.
Fontainebleau desperately needs a 1st down, or this game will get out of hand quick.
And this Mandeville crowd is fired up. Their team leading 14-0. Stolberg dropping back. He looked at the under route. Pressure coming. And he is dragged down by Damani Boyd. But there's a flag on the play.
Boyd, what a great job. But he may have put his hand on his face mask. Yes,
or
he did.
possibly was it a face mask.
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't sure if they were going to call face mask or horse collar there. The officials conferencing. Third down, and 3rd and about 13 for the Bulldogs. And as you said, in desperate need of a big play or a 1st down, something here to keep the drive going. Two to the top of your screen, 2 to the bottom. A Cowie in the backfield with Stolberg. Stolberg calling for it, dropping back, looking downfield, has time, intended for Devin Fury, and the ball falls to the ground right in between Fury and as Evan Guillory was on the coverage.
You could almost see Guillory licking his chops right there. He had three picks last year against the Bulldogs, and he was definitely aiming to get one there. It didn't happen. We're going to have a punt.
So 4th and 14, Lavelle, Williams, and Guillory are back. Mastillo on to punt. Mastillo's punt is away, and they'll let it bounce as it rolls across the 50, and the Bulldogs will down it at the 49-yard line.
Great field position again for the Skippers, who'll have the ball just a little bit shy of the midfield.
And look how quickly a lot of teams will stay on the side. They'll huddle. They'll talk over some plays before running out. Mandeville immediately, as soon as that ball was spotted, were out there lining up on the field.
Think about the amount of time in this first quarter that Bulldog defense has been on the field.
And they have to be getting tired. And you imagine if Mandeville keeps this up, they'll be gassed pretty quickly.
Yeah, on a hot night like tonight, yes.
Steele alone in the backfield, dropping back, has time, tossing it down to a wide open Fritz Walker in the middle of the field, cuts it outside, and he will be brought down as he dives for the extra yardage down around the 10-yard line.
I got to tell you, after Walker caught the ball and headed for the sideline, Teron Jones, instead of clipping, stood up like he was setting a screen. So the defender, and Walker got extra yardage. The defender had to try to get around him, and Walker was able to. Didn't clip. That was the key to that.
Heads up play.
Yes.
Heads up play by Jones. So Jones and Walker in the backfield. They'll feed Jones to reward him for that play, and he's taking it near sideline, and he will score for the Skippers.
Wow. Really impressed by the blocking of the receivers on that side. They just locked out on their defensive backs, and Jones was able to run it in.
Touchdown for Jones. Coming on is Joe Bullivus to kick the extra point, and this one getting out of hand early.
Not pretty.
Officials talking it over as
Somebody doesn't have a pad on or something.
it's Quan Marshall. Quan Marshall coming off the field, going on, goes Landon Fowler at that left wing position there.
Yeah, Fowler gets in the game.
And extra point is good for Bulldogs. So with 2:02 remaining in the first, Mandeville is up 21-0. Joe Bulldogs to kick off after the Teron Jones touchdown makes it 21-0. Kevon Washington is back to return, but it's more of a formality for him to stand back there as the ball goes out the back of the end zone. And Fontainebleau will start another drive at the 20-yard line. And 21-0, desperate need of a drive, a big play.
Something positive.
Two to the bottom, two to the top. Stolberg calling for it. He'll hand off. Play action. It looked kind of busted. A lot of pressure there. And Stolberg is brought down over there by number 47, Malcolm Johnson.
Yeah, he held that ball in there a long time before he pulled it out. And then I don't know if he was faking the pass or trying to pass it.
But the protection broke down and the defensive line got back there quickly to snuff it out. That'll bring up 2nd and 12. Stolberg calling for it. He'll throw a quick pass out there to number 16, Daryl Tott. Caught for a 5-yard gain on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 7 as we approach a minute to go here in the first. And we talk about the up-tempo of Mandeville. Fontainebleau seems to be taking their time to get set.
And they should. They need to run the clock.
Stolberg dropping back, looking downfield, and nearly picked off over there by Ian Braun after the tip from Daryl Tott.
That was a little high, and Todd did not bring it down, and we have an incomplete pass, and we're going to have another punt.
4th and 7, Mastillo coming on to punt, and we'll see Guillory and Lavelle Williams once again deep for the Skippers. Lavelle Williams, also a big track star for Mandeville. Snap is back, this time up to Mastillo. He sends it high into the air, and it will be downed as it keeps rolling, crossing the 45. It'll be down at the Mandeville 44-yard line.
Well, this is going to be the 5th possession by Mandeville in the first quarter. On the previous, they were 3 out of the previous 4 touchdowns. Let's see what they do here.
And this is their worst starting position so far in this game. At their own 44. 33 seconds to go in the first quarter. Walker, Jones in the backfield with Steele. Steele hands off to Walker, taking it far sideline, breaks a tackle, still on his feet and a big hit. He's brought down over there by Caleb Neft, but not before getting the first down for the Skippers.
Great job there by Walker, string it out to the sideline, and then he takes that 90-degree cut and cuts it up the field and gets big yardage.
And Mandeville quickly getting back set. It's 1st and 10 from the Fontainebleau 44. And Steele getting the play from Coach LeCompte on the sideline. Clock winding down, under 10 seconds. And they'll get the play off. Steele dropping back, pressure coming. And he's rolling out to his right, tossing to Roland Wallace. Wallace had 2 people near him, but still makes the catch. brought down there by Nicholas Stahl. And that will do it for the first quarter. Skippers leading 21-0.
St. Tammany Parish Public Schools, an A-rated school district. Graduates with the highest ACT scores in the state. Facilities with the latest technology. Safe and secure schools. A variety of sports. Fine arts. And learning to last a lifetime.
I'm Superintendent Trey Foles, and this is where we educate every child, every day.
Starting off the second quarter, Steele alone in the backfield trying that hard count as the real play coming in from the sidelines. First and 10, ball on the 34-yard line. Dropping back goes Steele, pressure coming. He's still looking downfield, running, and he'll take it himself before being brought down over there by Dominic Ducree. Steele on the scramble, but still he showed a lot of poise as that pocket broke down, and then he just got to a point where he had to take off with it.
Exactly. Just maneuvers himself to where he can throw the football if need be. He's looking downfield the whole way, then tucked it and ran.
That's
positive yards.
Positive yards, really good form from the first-year quarterback. 2nd and 6. Walker goes out in motion, right side, dropping back goes Steele, has a lot of time as it breaks down, scrambling away, and he will take it himself, still running down. Good block from Teron Jones, and Steele will go out of bounds around the 15-yard line after the big gain on the play for the first down for the Skippers.
In my head, when he dropped back, the clock in my head was telling me he's holding it too long, and then he stepped one way and came back the other. Good block by Jones.
The 1st and 10. Once again for the Skippers, and some stats from Roger Glenn. 146 yards of total offense for the Skippers in that first quarter. And they'll hand off to Fritz Walker, going far sideline up the middle, and he will score once again. Fritz Walker.
Skywalker right there. Fritz Skywalker makes that 90-degree cut, and really one or two people kind of hit him, but they weren't bringing him down.
No, he broke those tackles. And extra point coming on for Bulldogs to attempt to make it 28-0 here in the second quarter. So, well, I said 146 yards of total offense for the Skippers. They had 44 rushing, but now even more following that touchdown. Extra point is up and away, and it is good. So with 11:01 remaining in the second, the Skippers lead 28-0. After the Fritz Walker touchdown, Joe Bullivas kicking it away for the Skippers, and it will sail out the end zone once again, hitting that post there that has MHS written on it, and we will see the Fontainebleau offense once again.
Tell me, I heard those numbers, first quarter numbers from Mandeville. Clue us in on how well, because I can't imagine it's been very good.
Well, Fontainebleau has 20 yards of total offense, 22 yards passing, but -2 on the ground.
Not good. And Mandeville held U High to 88 yards, total yards. So a lot of returners on the defense, and they're doing a great job tonight.
Stolberg, quick pass out, but there's a flag on the field. Looks to be false start on the Bulldogs.
Wow, that looked like it was going to be a good play, only to have a flag come out on the field.
That'll bring up 1st and 15 for the Bulldogs. Trying to get something going. They have usually their drives have started off with penalties. We've seen tonight.
It's not good. If they haven't started, they've had one during the drive.
Stolberg calling for it. He'll hand off a Cowie going up the middle, and he'll be brought down by Damani Boyd after a gain of about 4 on the play. check that, about 2.
Yeah, couple the penalties with 2 fumbles, one they lost, one they got back, but for a loss. We're not operating at peak efficiency here.
Well, that play got him back to 0. Hand off to Ford, and he's bottled up by a crew of skippers and brought down. In that group, Damani Boyd along with Drake Graham and Austin Fashon.
Good job of penetration by the front line there. They were all on board in making that tackle.
10 minutes to go here in the second. It's 3rd and 11 for the Bulldog offense. Motion coming from Tott. Stolberg dropping back, looking far downfield, and nearly picked off by Evan Guillory, but falling out of his hands.
You could see as he was going down, he was the whole way down. There it is. I'm gonna dropped it. Oh no. Yeah, that Stolberg had his mind made up early to throw that ball. Too much air underneath it. He needed to loop that into his receiver was open sooner.
And Guillory doesn't have any interceptions yet on the season, but coming into this game last year, he didn't have any either, and he left with 3. And Evan Guillory will return this one, taking it right side, and he'll be brought down by Sammy Madonna after crossing the 50, and we have the yellow hankies on the turf. And this one will be a block in the back on the skippers. So now we see Steele and the Mandeville High offense again, and this is their 6th drive here in the first half. Ball will be spotted at their own 40-yard line.
10-yard penalty from the spot, which was midfield, and still great field position for the skippers.
9:30 to go here in the half. Skippers lined up in that ace formation, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Steele dropping back, lofts it out long, intended for Teron Jones, and complete as he goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. On the coverage was Joseph Pizzatolo.
Pizzatola was not really close to Jones there as he came across the field and gathered that one in. Lots of time. That's the key. That front line, you need to name them up here, doing a great job of pass blocking for Mandeville.
Cameron Davis, Landon Fowler, Kurt Vorhoff, Bryce Kavanaugh, and Michael Burkett protecting Steele as he drops back, and he'll throw this one out complete out to Aaron Thompson, who will get to the 20-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy of the first, and they call a first down. So he got it from my vantage point here. It looked like he was a little short, but it is a first down.
Darren Steele's composure. You know who he reminds me of?
Who's that?
Glenn Couillet. Very composed, very solid in the pocket, doesn't feel flustered. That time he just stepped up. Looked like he was going to run, but then saw the open man and hit him.
Glenn Couillet now playing for the Tulane Green Wave. Screen out to Aaron Thompson, taking it upfield, still on his feet, and he'll be dragged down. But there's a flag on the play, dragged down over there by Brian Lunsford. But the flag on the field could negate the gain, and holding will be called on the skippers.
That looked like it ended up close to Cameron Jones as that play opened up pretty good. The little jailbreak screen right there, and it looked like it was opening up, but I'm not sure that the defender wasn't tackled versus blocked, and therefore we have the penalty.
So 1st and 17, Darren Steele alone in the backfield, trips to the top of your screen. Steele dropping back, plenty of time. He'll float it up there to Teron Jones and picked off by Kevon Washington down there at the 2-yard line.
He telegraphed that the whole way. He was looking that way. On the backside, he had 2 receivers way down the field, wide open. So if he would have looked off there and turned back to the right, he'd have had a touchdown.
And the Bulldog offense will come out, ball spotted at the 3-yard line. The Mandeville defense has been doing a very good job of getting pressure. You think they bring the house here to try and get that pressure on Stolberg?
I think they just do what they've been doing because it's been successful. We'll see if they tighten down a little bit right here, maybe trying to get a safety.
1st and 10, ball on the 3, 8:27 to go in the half.
They're going to run it out.
And, yeah, they'll hand it off to a Cowie more than likely. Hand off to a Cowie going left side before being brought down over there by Jacob Hammett. I wanted to say Chase Hammett there. Chase Hammett, his brother, who used to play for the Skippers, but Jacob Hammett.
Yeah, Fontainebleau took the safe route, handed it off, and look, nice little pickup on that play.
It'll bring up 2nd and 5 from the 8-yard line. Stolberg calling, throwing the quick pass out to Totten. Second effort, gets some good yardage and crosses the 20 and gets the 1st down. Brought down over there by Graham.
That's it's been a while since you said those 2 words together. 1st down for Fontainebleau. So that nice little pickup now. Can they continue that? Can they take advantage of the turnover they got?
Stolberg handing off to a Cowie going up the middle, and he'll be brought down after the gain of about 3. Brought down over there by Sawyer Paulson, the 6'2", 214-pound junior nose guard.
Again, another run, another positive yards. That's what they've got to find, positive yards.
2nd and 5. They've had 2 first downs in this game. Pitch out. Ford will be bottled up and brought down. Excuse me, that's a Cowie out there. It was pitched to. He's brought down by McGee McMullen.
Little toss play that way, but they were kind of running and then tossing it. And so everybody was flowing that way, and Skipper defense did a good job. There was a loss on that play.
That brings up 3rd and 7. There was a loss of 2. Stolberg. Play clock winding down. Stolberg calls for it. He'll toss it out there to a Cowie on that flare, and he'll be tackled over there by number 44, Terrell Anderson, the middle linebacker.
Going to bring up 4th down.
That's 4th and short, 4th and 2 for the Bulldogs. Mastillo will come on to punt once again. And we'll have a heat and humidity timeout as the clock winds down to 6 minutes. The Skippers leading 28-0 here in the 2nd. After the heat and humidity break, Mastillo back to punt for the Bulldogs. Guillory back deep for the Skippers, and that will roll to him. Pressure coming, but he gets the punt away, and Guillory will fair catch it around the 40-yard line.
Wow.
But that snap was low and rolled back to Mastillo there.
He was
very fortunate.
He was lucky to scoop it up, but even luckier to be able to kick it out of there, and it was as good as any punt he's had this evening.
You saw the Mandeville rush coming, kind of held themselves up a little bit, and then when they realized he was having trouble with it, started running again. But had they just kept going, they could have gotten a good block there. So we see Darren Steele again with the Skipper offense. Lavelle Williams coming in motion, and right side Steele designed run, and he'll gain 7 yards.
That was like a quarterback power there with a lead blocker running right side for Steele. And he gets Good yardage.
Fritz Walker playing more of a fullback there, the 6 foot, 205-pound senior, blocking for his quarterback. Brings up 2nd and 4. Steele will hand off. Walker, left side, he cuts it back up the middle, still on his feet, still going, before being brought down over there by number 25, Nicholas Stahl, but not before getting the first down on the run.
Nice cut right there by Walker, who took it left side, ran it back to the right, picked up a first down.
Tried that hard count. Steele looking over to Coach LeCompte for the play on the sideline. Steele dropping back, has time, throws it out to Teron Jones. It's complete. Still on his feet, crossing the 30, crossing the 25, before being brought down over there by number 22, Dakota Vino.
Really, really impressed with Darren Steele's composure. Of course, he can be that. He got a little shook up on that play, but he can do that because that offensive line does a great job blocking.
Brings up 1st and 10 after the Jones completion. 4:36 to go. Steele dropping back, has time once again. He tosses it out there for Roland Wallace, who was lit up by number 13, Marvin Lang.
Wallace had to leap high and couldn't get that one. A little high on, a little floating on that. We're going to have a timeout. 4:25 to go in the first half. And the Skippers up big.
After the timeout, 2nd and 10 for the Skippers. Ball at the 24-yard line. Steele in the backfield. Fritz to his right. Steele calls for it, dropping back, rolling to his right, and he will take off, taking it, and finds a seam cut, still on his feet, cutting back to the middle, and he will be still rumbling, still dragging players, and he's brought down. But there is a yellow hanky on the field.
What a great run by Darren. Now will be known as Man of Steel. I mean,
Man of Steel.
Think of it this way. You're playing a team that has Luke Skywalker and the Man of Steel. It's tough.
You have Superman and the Force with you.
You do.
The call is on Fontainebleau. So that big play, good run by Darren Steele, will stand.
Oh, awesome. And how about Coach LeCompte? So, your quarterback, he's gone. You don't have him back for another year. And you go, let's see, I got a wide receiver who's junior. I move him to quarterback and let him be Darren Man of Steel. There you go.
And thus, Darren Steele is starting at quarterback for the Skippers.
But that's one thing that Coach Guy LeCompte does. He can identify and pick out the type of player he needs at every position.
Handoff. Steele will keep it himself. That was play action, and he will run it in over there on the left side for another Mandeville touchdown.
Great read right there by Steele. Put it in there. Everybody collapsed on the fake, and he just poop, running in the end zone. Remember when I said in the pregame that Mandeville better be ready? Well, they were.
They were.
Obviously. Clearly ready.
As Bulldogs on the field to kick the extra point to make this one 35-0. Bulldogs extra point is up, and it is good. So with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the first half, the Mandeville Skippers lead 35-0. And Bulldogs kicking off after the Mandeville score, sending it once again sailing out the back. And that's some accuracy. He hit the post there twice, the 2 kickoffs in a row.
Not too shabby.
Right down the middle. So the Skippers leading 35-0. Here in the first half, it's starting to get out of hand. What does Fontainebleau really need here?
They need, I said it earlier, positive yards. They need to run a series, a continuous series of positive plays. No fumble, no penalty.
Handoff to a Cowie.
Nice cut by a Cowie right there.
Good cut. Players were on the ground. He decided to jump over them up the middle, and he was brought down after the gain of about 2 over there by the Skippers, including McGee McMullen.
Yeah, continuum of success has eluded the Bulldogs tonight.
Stolberg calling for it, dropping, looking downfield, has time there, and nearly picked off again by Guillory, but it looks like there will be a pass interference call there at midfield, probably on Austin Fashon.
And you're not seeing any argument out of the defensive back.
Nope. I mean, ball was coming, and he clearly pushed him.
Oh, yeah, clearly. And he was pulled over to the sidelines, and one of the coaches just kind of gave him that, hey, don't let it happen again. Not really berating him, other than you made a mistake. Don't let it happen again.
So it wasn't the riot act. It was more of just a correction.
It was a correction. Thank you.
3:14 to go here in the second.
Or should I have said you are correct? It was a correction.
I see.
Okay.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I hear you. I hear you.
So 3:14. That brought up. Well, that was a first down for the Bulldogs. Their third of the night.
And are they? Is this the furthest out they've been?
It is. And flare out once again to a Cowie, and he's still going. Found a seam, and he'll gain there. He's brought down to at the 48-yard line over there by Terrell Anderson and Drake Graham.
Clearly in the game plan, the flare pass was something that they saw, and they've had success with it. But it's like anything else. If you're not doing everything else, and that's the only thing you got,
right.
That's all you got. You got to be able to do.
And it's flare pass in those flat routes, but it's to a Cowie. It's basically get the ball in a Cowie's hands and let him go. Stolberg calling for it and dropping back, looking far downfield, and Evan Guillory gets his interception, and he's taking it downfield, crossing the 50-yard line, cutting it back to midfield, still on his feet, running to the near sideline. Brandon Cowie running him down, and Evan Guillory will be brought down at the 30-yard line after a big gain.
Justin Stolberg stared down that receiver from the get-go, and guess what happened? Evan Guillory stared down that pass the whole way and got his pick.
Guillory, a known ball hawk, not someone you want to throw a ball his way. 43 yards on the return for Guillory.
That play right there would be called a drive killer right there.
2:38 to go here in the half. Skippers leading 35-0, and now Joe Bullivus is in at quarterback for the Skippers. They've taken Darren Steele out. We probably won't see him the rest of the night.
I think he got nicked up on that last series.
Teron Jones handoff, and he's brought down in the backfield over there by number 94, Jack Jablonski.
Jablonski with a nice penetration and a tackle for a loss. Big loss.
A big loss. That'll bring up 2nd and 15 for the Skippers, and Fritz Walker is back into the game. Bullivus calling in the play. He has Walker and Jones in the backfield with him. Bullivus calls for it. He'll hand off Walker, coming near side, cutting up the middle, still rumbling, and brought down at the sideline by number 13, Marvin Lang.
I like the way Walker runs. He's a slasher. He sees something. If he's at an angle, he'll angle through it. Otherwise, he'll plant that foot in the ground, go 90 degrees, and take it up the field.
3rd and 11. And we are seeing Darren Steele does have some ice on his hand, but he has had a great showing so far here in the first half. I wouldn't be surprised if Bulldogs finishes the rest of the game. Bulldogs under pressure, and he will be sacked by Jablonski for a big loss.
Good pressure from Jablonski.
We are under a minute to go here in the first half. Mandeville taking their time.
Yeah, I don't see them. I see them letting it run out and then punt it maybe. Who knows? At this, yeah.
And there's the play clock starting. So they'll run it down to about 15. Well, actually,
Bulldogs. Will he punt it? No. No.
4th and 20, 10 seconds to go on the play clock. And let's see if they take the timeout or
no.
If they nope, they'll let this one they'll let this one run out.
They'll take the time. You got to take the time out and then punt it. Yeah.
And then send Bulldogs back to punt for the Skippers. So with 18 seconds to go here, you know, Bulldogs has a strong leg. You see Coach LeCompte talking to him over there, saying, you want to go for this field goal?
Yeah, let's see. What would it be?
And
did he say yes or no? No.
He doesn't have the T out there with him.
No.
So he'll go back there to punt.
I say no. That would have been 47. It would have been a 57-yarder.
Well, if you went to that Eric game, you know that he would have made it from 57 yards. He nearly made that 69-yarder in the semifinals last year.
Right. I think being up 35-0 dictated let's not.
Right.
Yeah.
So Bulldogs to punt it away. There's 18 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Snap back, great snap. And he throws the pass, they fake it. And rumbling still before being brought down over there by Vinot. That pass was complete to number 84.
Oh, it's going to be close to a first down, but there's a penalty, huh?
And yeah, there is some laundry on the field. 9 seconds to go. Officials are talking it over. And let's see. Legal procedure for Mandeville. So they're huddling up, and you think they punt it away here? Or you think they try and use some trickery again?
I don't know.
They're backed up.
I think they're just trying to run out the half, is my guess. Run out the clock and not give them the ball back. So
it's 4th and about 20.
I think it's about 24.
About 24.
But yeah, it's 4th and Lacombe, as I like to say.
Snap back, and Bulldogs will punt this one away. A high, booming punt. Good kick. And this one will go into the end zone for the touchback for the Bulldogs as the clock winds down to 2. So I don't see them taking the shot here. You think Stolberg comes out and kneels it and sends us to half?
Oh, yeah. Time to regroup. As my old neighbor Doug Shaw would say, the Bulldogs need to regroup.
So Cowie drops back deep in case of mishap. And Stolberg will take a knee to send us to halftime. So at half, Mandeville leading at home 35-0 in the Battle of Mandeville.
For our next selection for this evening's halftime show, we feature a song made popular by the 1980s R&B band Cameo. Please join the Skipper Band in welcoming to the field the 2016 edition of the Mandeville High School Spinners as the Skipper Band performs to the 1986 R&B #1 hit single, Word Up.
And Chris Mastio will kick it off for the Bulldogs to start the second half. It's kicked back to Teron Jones, who will return it, taking it right side and brought down over there by number 13, Marvin Lang. So Tiger, Bulldogs are down 35-0. Mandeville has this big lead. You think they, well, Darren Steele's back in the game, but you think they just kind of run the clock the rest of the time?
Yeah, I would think that they'll run their offense, but because Steele's out there, and you want to get that repetition work with these guys probably in this quarter, and then I would venture to guess we'd look at, some other players.
In the fourth?
Yes.
Handoff, Fritz Walker trying to bounce it up the middle, and he'll be brought down by Michael Malbrough after a gain of about 4 on the carry.
Another good run. Wasn't a lot.
So some stats from Roger Glenn for the Mandeville offense. 87 rushing yards in the first half, 162 passing yards in the first half, 249 total. You know those 5 touchdown drives?
Yes.
Guess how much time
How long did they take?
6 minutes and 31 seconds. That's fast.
That is fast.
Steele taking his time to call for the ball. He'll hand off Walker up the middle again, and he'll be brought down very quickly by Jablonski along with Dakota Beno.
Unfortunately, sometimes it is, you go into half, you're up 35-0, and you're not playing quite as intense coming out to start the second half. We'll see if they can, the first team here can maintain a little something.
3rd and 8, Steele looking to pass screen out to Thompson, and he'll be brought down over there by Malbrough.
Bulldogs were all over that play right there defensively.
So that'll bring up 4th down right out the gate for the Skippers. Joe Bullivus will come on to punt it away. And late player coming onto the field. Back deep, it's Kevon Washington for the Bulldogs. Snap back, Bulovas will get it away. It'll bounce down, crossing the 45, and the Skippers will down it at about the 41-yard line.
That ball kind of came off the right side of Bulovas' foot, and a couple of little wonky bounce and first down, but the best field position of the night. Let's see if the Bulldogs were able to regroup at half.
And another telling stat from Mr. Glenn here, Mandeville has 13 first downs. Fontainebleau has 3. We're looking to get something going.
Ouch.
Stolberg, that pass was low and to the right. He gets the handoff to Acowie, and Acowie will be brought down by Anderson along with Sawyer Paulson. Anderson, a 5'11", 190-pound senior middle linebacker. Not only is he very strong on the field, Terrell Anderson strong in the weight room. Bench press, 295 pounds, 525-pound back squat.
Ooh. That's some lift in there, my friend.
2nd and 7. Stolberg calling for the ball. And that pass is batted away by, look to be Sawyer Paulson on the block. So 3rd and 7 for the Bulldog offense. Looking to start off strong here in the second half. But they have 3rd and 7 to go. They need a big play here to keep the drive going. Stolberg play action to Acowie. Pressure coming, dumps it off. Down to Acowie, still on his feet, still going. Finds a seam and a shoestring tackle by McGee McMullen, but we have a flag down on the field.
That's not in a good place for the Bulldogs, but I will say that was a great call. They went with the screen that time and made a big play, but it's coming back.
A holding called on the Bulldogs. So that'll bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 12. No, more than that. 3rd down and about 15. Stolberg back in the gun. 8:27 to go here in the 3rd. Motion coming from Ford. Stolberg dropping back, looking long. Pressure coming, and he'll be dropped down by McGee McMullen. That pressure broke down, and McGee McMullen was able to get right over there to Stolberg.
You've called McMullen's name a few times, and on this, it's going to bring 4th and long, so Fontainebleau unable to do something.
And Mastillo.
Again.
That'll bring up Mastillo on to punt it away for the Bulldogs. Snap back there. Mastillo kicking it away. And Guillory saying get away from it, and it'll take a Bulldog roll down past the 20. It'll be down at about the 19-yard line.
I'm going to say that the second half has started the same way the first half as far as field position. Everything is down here to the right. Down here, as in the first quarter, in the 3rd quarter now. And Fontainebleau has the best field position in the field position game, but have not been able to capitalize on that.
So the Skippers starting this drive at the 19. Darren Steele back in the game. We saw Joe Bulovas closing out the first half. He'll hand off to Walker. Walker cutting back right side. And after a gain of about 7, he's brought down over there by Michael Malbrough. And there's a flag down, awaiting the call. unsportsmanlike on the Bulldogs.
Right.
That's, you know, in these rivalries, especially when you're down like this, you see the emotions then start to get the best of them. Unlike what the coaches talked about in pregame, they said they needed to keep themselves in check, but tempers start to flare and emotions start to fly when you're down 35-0 here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and probably jaws are flapping a little bit too.
1st and 10, Steele to pass, passing out there complete, and brought down.
Ran that little inside screen and got nothing. That's 2 times in this half they've run that play that Fontainebleau has just shut it down.
2nd and 11. Skippers, you know, we mentioned that stat of the 6 minutes and 31 seconds, that very up tempo on those 5 touchdown drives. Now they're just cool, relaxed, taking their time and letting the play clock run down and letting the clock run down.
Right.
And
Do not want to go out of here with any injuries. They've got a game next week.
Handoff, Walker cutting back right side, has some room, still on his feet, gets the first down, and he'll be dragged down over there by Marvin Lang, but we have a hanky on the field.
You know, I've got to give you a little bit. Halftime. Went down to the concession stand here at Mandeville High and participated in having some bread pudding with sauce on top. It's pretty righteous.
Is it?
Yeah, if you're here at Mandeville High, if you come for a game and they've got bread pudding, try not to knock down the young children getting to it, because it's righteous.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah,
I need to try some next time. We'll be here for the Hammond game, their homecoming game, and
that needs to be at the top of your list. And if they don't have it, I may consider not coming.
I'll sprint down there as soon as the clock hits 0 at halftime. But we have a timeout on the field for heat and humidity. Skippers leading 35-0 here in the third quarter. After the heat and humidity timeout, Skippers still driving. It's 2nd and 3 with Darren Steele in the gun. He'll drop back. They'll pass here. Steele, pocket breaking down, rolls out to his left, and a completion to Teron Jones over there at the 38-yard line. And you talked earlier.
That was a thing of beauty right there, how he sprinted out, and then he turned those shoulders and delivered that pass. And once he got outside the pocket, he was pretty much clean to go, but took advantage of the fact that he could get it up the field.
He's a first-year quarterback, but he's showing very good poise back there in that quarterback role. You mentioned earlier in the game, Coach LeCompte finds where to put players. He's a very good evaluator of talent and what he has and where he needs to put people. Teron Jones and that completion, they thought they were going to have a battle at running back going into this season with Fritz Walker running right there with Fritz and Teron, because both are very talented. But Coach LeCompte said, no, we need to have Teron on the field a lot of the time. So instead of having him split reps, he now has Teron out there at that H receiver position, and he's making quite an impact while Fritz gets essentially, outside of Darren Steele carrying the ball, all of the reps at running back. Oh, and when Teron comes in into the backfield and they do that 2-back set.
Right. You only make your offense better when you put all your weapons out on there.
All the best players are on the field. You don't have any good weapons off. And that one, a little off the mark. Teron hits Teron's left hand and bounces, falls incomplete on the coverage. It's Kevon Washington. But yeah, you can't have any good talent sitting on the bench not being used. You find a way to use them.
Exactly.
And LeCompte has absolutely mastered that art. Third and 8 for the Skipper offense. Clock running down, play clock at 8. Not sure why taking the time there, because the clock's not running after the incompletion. Darren Steele pocket broke down, rolling right side, telling his players, get open, tosses it out there, nearly picked off, intended for Roland Wallace, but nearly picked off by Kevon Washington, who broke on him.
Obviously, Steele was signaling to move, and Wallace stopped. But when that ball is delivered, you got to come back to the ball. That's the number one thing a receiver needs to do is come back to the ball. I think we got a flag on the field.
And it's illegal man downfield is called. So brings up 4th and 8. Mandeville keeping their offense on the field. I think they tried just the hard count here, or
yeah. That's it.
But awaiting a call from the sideline to come in. Play clock running down, 7 seconds, and Coach LeCompte will take a timeout.
I think he thought the clock was running, and clearly it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
So with 4 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Mandeville is leading 35-0. After the timeout, 4 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the third. Bulldogs on a punt. High snap over his head. And Bulldogs will try to get this one away, trying to do something with the ball. He'll launch it downfield, and it falls incomplete, well overthrown
That
of the intended receiver over there.
If he would have caught the ball, it would have been close to a first down. Of course, that wasn't the intent on that. So let's talk a little bit else at halftime.
Uh-huh.
All right?
More concession stand stories?
No. There's one thing that as a former Mandeville student you should know. There's a battle of not just the bands and not just the football team, but there's a battle of the T-shirts.
The T-shirts.
Oh, yeah. Who's got the best T-shirts? Because it's FHS versus MHS. We'll talk about it after this play.
1st and 10, Fontainebleau at the 36. Stolberg calling for it. He'll hand off McCowie up the middle. Nothing doing. He's met with a wall and brought down by Sawyer Paulson along with Terrell Anderson, and it looks like there's a little chippiness down there.
We had a little extracurricular activity, and one of the Mandeville players, realizing that his own players shouldn't have done that, kind of got him out the way. Unfortunately, that's what happens, as you mentioned earlier. 35-0 game in a big rivalry, and chippiness will find a way into the game. Back to the T-shirts while we're at it. So I'm looking over, and I see the Fontainebleau T-shirt, and it said something about Space the Skippers.
Space the Skippers.
Yeah, wasn't really sure what that was. However, on the back of the T-shirts, an orange cone.
Can I guess?
Guess.
Bulldoze the Bulldogs.
Bulldoze the Bulldogs, right. Caution tape out everywhere because it's a construction zone, but Bulldoze the Bulldogs, which could be the last thing you say in this broadcast that Mandeville did.
And Stolberg fumbles the snap, falls on it, and he picks it up, and he's still going for it, and he's brought down by Austin Vachon physically, and we have more extracurricular activity, and a flag is down.
I think that little extra oomph of throwing him down resulted in that penalty. You know, again, what's the need? Just tackle the guy, get him down, and let's move on.
But, you know, it's 15, 16, 17-year-old kids.
Right.
And sometimes their tempers get the best of them.
Of course.
So that'll move up the Bulldogs, looking to cross the 50. As Roger Glenn points out,
it would be the first time. But let's see. Let's see if they can do it.
So 1st and 10 from the 47. Stolberg in the gun, calls for it. He's dropping back, looking to pass pressure almost immediately. Flare route out to Acowie, and Acowie is brought down over there by Travis LeCompte.
A lot of success with that play in the first half. Not so then. Loss on the play.
So back to the T-shirts.
So back to the teacher.
Bulldoze the Bulldogs
and
space the Skippers.
Right. I do like the orange construction cone with the yellow tape. Bulldoze the Bulldogs, and then a lot of the
Stolberg passing out long to Devin Fury, well overthrown. But you mentioned the student section.
The student section, a lot of tape, either headbands, bows, or some kind of, or just across their chest in a like you were queen of the whatever.
Like Miss USA with
yes,
Miss
exactly.
The Miss USA or
caution
Miss
tape.
Mandeville caution tape.
Right.
And some fans down there in the Mandeville student section, hard hats and the bright vests, as Stolberg drops back and finds his target, Darryl Tott, for the first down in the middle of the field, and it takes a whole crew of skippers to not even bring him down.
Just
Good
to
hustle
stop
there,
him.
but to
Yeah.
stop him. And Fontainebleau has crossed the 50
and has a first down.
and has a first down.
I mean, when you're down big in a ball game and you go into halftime, you have to come back and play one play. You need to play better than you played in the first half, and you need to play one play at a time, and they're trying to get that going now.
And that pass was intended for Devin Fury. Travis LeCompte on the coverage. Pass falls incomplete, but there's a flag on the field. And it looks to have been, I mean, he threw it right as LeCompte made contact. So it will be interference on Travis LeCompte, and it will move up the Bulldogs even more to the about the 25-yard line. Minute 43 to go here in the third.
Blitz showing.
Stolberg, they bring the house. Pressure coming. Redirecting. And Stolberg gets it away. But on the coverage is Jacob Hammett. That pass intended for Blake Marshall.
Hammett, great job right there. But that was an all-out blitz by Mandeville. Stolberg evading the rush and throwing the ball. Unfortunately, incomplete. Second down, 10 ball at the 25-yard line.
Mandeville showing blitz once again. Stolberg calls for it. They blitz again. Quick strike, but in and out of the hands. It actually went in and out of the hands of Tott as Hammett looked to have timed his jump a little too soon.
Got to make that catch. Going to bring up 3rd and 10 now.
3rd and 10. Ball still on the 25. Fontainebleau looking to get on the board and keep this drive. We'll keep this drive going and get on the board. Stolberg calls for it. Dropping back, looking left side, lofts it up over there to Fury, and it falls incomplete.
Wow, it looked first like the defensive back had it, then the receiver had it, and then no one had it.
And Travis LeCompte and Drake Graham on the coverage for the Skippers.
It'll be 4th down, and they're going to go for
They
it.
have to here.
Yes.
We're under a minute here in the third. Stolberg awaits the play from the sideline. And you think as this quarter runs out, there's a minute left, I think Mandeville will start getting some reps for the younger guys?
Probably will. On the other hand, Fontainebleau will still plug away.
Fontainebleau, Stolberg dropping back, finds a wide open Brandon Akawi, who's still going, still rumbling. And he will.
Nope.
No,
short.
Nope, they say short.
Yep. Again, they went back to that flare pass, and he made a great run, cutting back into the field and then back out to the sideline. And they got a first down inside. But you know what this is about right now? It's not about this game. This is about next week. They have to be ready and be able to use this offense and compete next week.
On their opponent next week.
Yes.
Stolberg calls for it. Low snap, falls to the ground, still on the ground, still loose, and it looks like Mandeville will recover it. And they do. That's McGee McMullen coming up big and falling on the ball for the Skippers. And a turnover for the Bulldogs.
Right.
In scoring position, they think everything is going right, going their way. And then right there down at the 3-yard line, fumble it away.
That is not pretty, my friends, not pretty.
22 seconds to go in the third. Darren Steele still out there for the Skippers along with Fritz Walker. Clock is running, and they're going to take their time, and this should take us to the fourth quarter, as there's about a 2-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. Well, they'll run the play. Handoff to Teron Jones.
And that'll
And
end.
that will end the fourth quarter. That's Charles Quinn on the carry. So at the end of the third quarter, heading in to the fourth quarter, the Skippers are leading 35-0.
St. Tammany Parish Public Schools, an A-rated school district. Graduates with the highest ACT scores in the state. Facilities with the latest technology. Safe and secure schools. A variety of sports. Fine arts. And learning to last a lifetime.
I'm Superintendent Trey Foles, and this is where we educate every child, every day.
So starting off the fourth quarter, Steele takes the snap. He'll throw the screen out, and down goes Matt Adams. So we're seeing some new faces, some new numbers down on the field.
Adams had to go down to his knee, and so he was touchdown there, yeah.
So they're keeping Steele in the game at quarterback. Teron Jones is still in the game. The starting offensive line is still in, but you're seeing a new receiving core out there.
Again, Steele, this is his fourth game, right?
Right.
Fourth game as a starter. So coaches wanting to keep him, have a little, get some more experience.
And he'll hand it off to Teron, who finds a hole, but he's brought down over there by Dakota Vino. Stahl also on the stop. Clock running, 10:50 to go. They'll bring on the punting unit as it's 4th and 9. Kevon Washington back deep for the Bulldogs. And Terrell Anderson, middle linebacker, but he's also the snapper for the punt unit and field goal unit. He's been absolutely on point with his snaps. With the exception of that last one. And that one perfectly. Coach must have told him, hey, get it down. Ball down by number 32, Quan Marshall, at about the 42-yard line. So 10:14 to go here in the fourth. Fontainebleau, are they still thinking comeback, or
No.
they're just thinking on improving, getting this stuff down
Right.
in a live environment?
This is all about, exactly. It's all about next week and the week after that.
Right.
Get this offense in sync, because it's not been in sync all night.
No.
It's been positive, positive, negative, or negative, positive, positive, whatever. But it has not been consistent.
Stolberg takes the snap, dropping back, pressure coming, hit by Sawyer Paulson as he released, and it falls to the ground, intended for Brandon Akawi on kind of a short flare out there, as they've been trying to do to him most of the game. So that brings up 2nd and 10, ball still at the 42 for the Bulldogs. And Stolberg takes the snap, looking downfield, in and out of Tott's hands once again on the coverage was Austin Fashon and Terrell Anderson.
They're running those little stop routes out there. That one's a little high, but he's got to come down with that. You get your hands on it, you got to come down with it.
When it hits you in the mitts,
right?
You have to
get it and you tuck it.
Right.
You get it and tuck it, and worry about what happens after that, if anything's going to happen.
And what they used to tell us back when I played, it was you're going to get hit either way.
Right.
So you may as well get a completion with it.
Exactly.
3rd and 10. Stolberg calls for it. Dropping back, pocket breaking down, rolling right side, tosses it downfield, and nearly picked off again by Evan Guillory. Well overthrown of the intended receiver out there.
When he rolls out or he's under pressure and he's thrown deep, he's throwing a high ball, very high ball. His shoulder's getting high, and he's floating it out there versus trying to plant, if he could, to throw that ball.
And that's when Evan Guillory's eyes get as big as saucers, waiting for it to come down to him.
Yeah, especially when it's lofted like that.
So Mastillo on the punt again for the Bulldogs. Back deep, Teron Jones and Evan Guillory.
That one came off the side of his foot.
And dropping down there around the 30-yard line. It'll be down at about the 31. And Darren Steele and the first offensive line still in the game, but brand new receivers out there, including right there on the left side of your screen, Davis Foreman, his first year playing football. He's a senior for Mandeville High. He plays on the basketball team too, a two-sport athlete. So it'd be interesting to see if they tossed it up, and I don't know if they'll pass at this point, but to see if he could win that jump ball like he does in basketball. And Steele just waiting this one out. Clock's running. We'll probably wait until it gets down to about 5 seconds.
That's what they want to do.
So play clock at 13 seconds, waiting it out. 6 seconds, 5, and Steele will call for it and hand it off. Going left side is Charles Quinn for about a 7-yard gain.
Nice run by Quinn. Yeah, all we're waiting on is the clock right now, everybody at this point.
Yeah, 7:37. And you know what? Kudos to the Mandeville student section for staying here, sticking it out when, this game was at hand early. Sometimes you see people leave early, and it is just as crowded down there as it was at opening kickoff. The clock will still run. Quinn again on the run.
Of course, I think they want the opportunity to celebrate with the team after it's over.
Can you tell that to the LSU student section?
That's a whole different. I think I chronicled a couple of years ago the times at which people start to exit, like halftime. Like if they're up big before halftime is a certain amount. If you're up by 21 going into the fourth quarter, there's an exit. Then there's the 7 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go, and then there's those real diehards that stayed to the end, even though it's 52-0. And I've got a good close friend. That is his MO. If you go to the game with him,
he's sticking it out.
Yes, till the end. The score means nothing, either which way. The score means nothing. He's staying to the end. We went and saw Auburn. I think it was 2 years ago, and one of the things I wrote in my little Facebook post was, stop saying it doesn't rain. It stormed the entire time there. I had.
Oh, was this at Tiger Stadium?
Yes, yeah. I had a T-shirt. The only thing that was dry was my T-shirt. I had a Gore-Tex jacket on, but my pants were soaked. Everything was soaked, and we left there when there was no time on the clock, and they won by 21. So he's diehard.
The Bullivis punt rolling down. It'll be downed at about the 15-yard line where the Bulldogs will take over. 50-yard punt. Well done by Joe Bullivis. And did y'all stay at that game? Did y'all stay until the band not only played the alma mater, but they also have their cool down song at the end?
No,
or did y'all just leave when it hit 0-0?
When it hit 0, he allowed us to exit the stadium. We walked, got home. Here's the best part about it. I got home, went to bed because it was late, because you know how it is trying to get out.
Right.
You know what he did?
What?
He went home and watched the game again. He had recorded it.
Heat and humidity timeout. Skippers leading 35-0 here in the fourth quarter. After the heat and humidity timeout, Fontainebleau Bulldog offense takes over. They're on the 15-yard line. Stolberg will call for it. Flare out again to Cowie. Breaks one tackle, still on his feet, still going. Finds a seam, and he'll be brought down over there.
I think virtually, if there's whatever the number of yards they have, most of them are on that play to a Cowie this evening.
On the flare route out there to Cowie, that gives them a first down. Tackle over there by Drake Graham. 5:20 remaining. Stolberg calls for it, dropping back, looking downfield, pressure coming. Malcolm Johnson, and he'll take it himself and be brought down by Terrell Anderson after a gain of about 5 or 6 on the play.
All of good coverage in the secondary. All he had to do was tuck it and run, and he did.
Fontainebleau has 1 positive yard.
Oh, man.
4:40
Second down and 2
to go. Stolberg, quick pass out there, and it's complete, being dragged down over there by Austin Fashon is Nicholas Ford.
And we have a first down.
So we'll bring up next week, Mandeville will play at Ponchatoula.
Oh.
Ponchatoula, this will be a big test for Mandeville.
Yeah.
Ponchatoula, very physical, very big. They like to run the ball, but they smash you in the mouth.
Yeah, and they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the state.
And last year, Mandeville won against Ponchatoula, and that Stolberg pass is complete down there to Coach Shane Hughes on the Mandeville sideline.
Yeah, I'll say this. I bet in that locker room, when they get wherever Ponchatoula finishes tonight, in that locker room tomorrow will be the score from last year's game that Mandeville won. They don't like losing in the swamp.
No, they don't.
They don't like losing.
And they use those mosquitoes to their advantage out there.
Yeah.
With 3:53 remaining in the fourth, Stolberg, low snap, dropping back, and Terrell Anderson all over Stolberg. Pass falls incomplete.
Tell me who's Fontainebleau have next
Fontainebleau
week?
plays North Shore next week. North Shore playing St. Paul's this week. They'll be looking to bounce back.
It'll be a good test for them and a good chance for them to bounce back.
A good bounce back game, really, for both teams.
Right. Oh yeah.
3rd and 10. Stolberg dropping back, looking downfield, passing, and batted away over there by Austin Fashon. But Walter Harris, he didn't, when we covered that game, it's 4th and 10. Fontainebleau on to punt, 3:14. And this is the 9th punt of the game for Chris Mastio. But Walter Harris for North Shore, be good to see if they can bottle him up. He runs. He didn't run as much when we covered him, but he does seem to run a good bit. It'll be good to see if they can bottle him up. And Mastio punting this one away. Evan Guillory will call the fair catch, and Mandeville will take over at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, it's a good chance for them to rebound, get out there. And we saw at North Shore, they've had their own struggles, so somebody's going to get, for lack of better, somebody's going to get right next Friday. I would venture to guess that when Coach Chris Blocker gets back to the Fontainebleau Fieldhouse, he's throwing this tape away. They don't want to look at this.
You burn this one.
Yeah.
Handoff coming near sideline, and Charles Quinn will be wrestled down over there by Jablonski. Jablonski, the 6', 205-pound defensive lineman for Fontainebleau. 2:33 to go in this one. Clock is running. Mandeville taking their time. Play clock hasn't started yet. Tiger, game balls. Who do game balls go to?
Well, Man of Steel gets one.
Of course.
He's going to get one. Man, the defense. I might give that whole Skipper defense a game ball. They came ready and shut down the Bulldogs.
Snap back, handoff. Quinn coming right side, up the middle, still fighting for yards, and brought down over there by Dakota Vano.
So Akawi comes into tonight's game, the 5th leading rusher in the state. They pretty much shut him down. The only thing that he probably got 5 or 6 or 7 receptions for a bunch of yards, but that's the only thing he got, in those flare passes. And but overall, absolutely a shutout here.
Well, and a lot of that also depends on your pre-district schedule. I mean, you get into this district, which is a tough district, and you start playing defenses like Mandeville's, as opposed to, in East Jefferson, who is inexperienced on the defensive side. You see numbers like that start to dwindle. You can run all over an EJ team. You're not going to do that to a tough Mandeville team or really a lot of teams in this district.
Yeah, I always refer to this as the SEC of the North Shore.
For sure.
Because you never know on any given night. We're going to have the old victory formation.
Yep, anything can happen on any night.
I will say this.
In this district.
If just a side note here, if you're Guy LeCompte right now, calling this play is like, it's like the total definition of we don't have to do another thing. This is over. We've done our job.
And that's something they say, man, do your job. And they did their job tonight. 20 seconds, and that'll do it off of the kneel down by Darren Steele. So the Skippers move on to 3-1, and Fontainebleau also moves to 3-1, their first loss of the season. So let's take a second to thank those who helped bring you this game, starting with our superintendent, Mr. Trey Folse, our director of broadcasting, Dr. Melody Swang, on sideline camera tonight, Rhett Sharp, cameraman, editor, and coordinator of Channel 13, Dave the Rave Williams, on color commentary tonight, Tiger Edwards. So from Sid Terrio Stadium, where the Mandeville Skippers defeated the Fontainebleau Bulldogs in the Battle of Mandeville, 35-0. I'm Grant Yenny. Good night. You are now leaving the Prep Zone.